Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deargan. Alongside me for this first step in our Game of the Year journey is none other than the PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Hey, what's poppin'?
Hi, LeRon.
Hey, Corey.
Are you ready for the Bossies this year?
I'm as ready as, I'm not gonna say I'm as ready as I'm gonna be, but I'm ready. I'm getting ready.
They're 6 weeks away.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
Yeah. Me too. A little stressed out, but also very excited.
Stressed out. Like that's a state of being.
Fine.
That's a state of being. That's just normal around here.
Yeah, it's fine. Speaking of normal around here, also here is the Mad Pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Anything but. Hello.
Hi, Stephanie. Red Bull working yet?
No, it is not. If anything, it's just barely keeping me awake. But, you know, Red Bull can solve a lot of things, but it can't solve a common viral cold. So here I am, ready to duke it out for our nominations while coughing into the microphone.
It'll be fine.
Sorry in advance.
That's fine. We'll figure it out. Speaking of figuring it out, also here is PK Power, Pat Klein.
Yeah, it's already figured out.
Yeah.
No figuring needed.
Well, maybe a little bit.
A little bit of figuring.
Yeah, so this episode's going to be a little bit different because we're last year we did the big kind of massive kind of 3-hour conversation about the Bossies and hashing out the nominations. We're not doing that this year. Also, Ed's been suspended from this recording because last year he fought for a game that he didn't even vote for. So he's been excluded from this. No,
he fought hard for that game too, and it got 0.
I know.
So, ladies and gents that are listening to this or watching on YouTube, you get to see how the sausage is made. Oh, yeah.
Everyone likes a good sausage, am I right?
Nice, juicy, thick,
succulent.
With the good casing around it, you know, with the nice little sizzle and pop.
Little curve at the end, just enough.
LeRon's completely just.
I know,
guys. Do you cut the tip of your sausage?
Sometimes it just splits open by itself.
Depends.
Depends on how hot it is.
I like chorizo. Got a kick to it.
Little spicy sausage.
Give me a good old bratwurst, German.
Those are thick and
juicy,
off color, but it's fine. Speaking of off color,
it's as pale as me, my friend.
Them Bossies.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is supposed to be a professional event. Hello.
Is it? Oh man, somehow it's kind of turning into one. But we'll save those surprises for later.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you want to surprise us, you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. We have a free tier. You can just sign up for that and listen to all of our free podcasts on one feed. But if you pay $1 or more a month, you get perks like our pre-show, early access to book club, and some other cool content. But if you can't support us, you can head over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because you're going to want to know when the Bossies go live, which is January 16th, pre-show, 8:30, hosted by Andre Wilson and Celeste Roberts. And then we have the main show, hosted by us four happy people: Edward Varnell, David Lasby, Josh Finney, and Matthew Keel. So be prepared for that. We're going to have a few guests as well.
Guys, this is huge. It's huge.
It's like that sausage.
Second annual. Yes.
Yeah. 2nd annual Bossies. I'm very excited. Tell your friends. We'll be sharing stuff and throughout the next 6 weeks. 6 weeks away, everybody. It's crazy. Can you believe it? It's already that time. Somewhere in there, we got to fit our Metacritic draft thing in there too.
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
Man, that is hitting some tight windows. But we're going to go over the nominees here, and we're going to cut each category down to 5 nominations. I think a lot of these categories will be relatively simple. I think we just kind of threw a lot of games in here just because they came out this year, not because they're great.
Really?
In any sort of
I
way.
don't know.
Mhm.
But I mean, the first one they're about to tackle, I mean, there's like at least a dozen. And they're all like,
Yeah.
I could see a case for all of them. It's like, damn.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to go through each category one by one, and we'll try to do the best we can at keeping it quick. Best art direction. The nominees are Arzette, The Jewel of Faramore, Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Destiny 2, The Final Shape, Mario and Luigi Brothership, Metaphor Re Fantasio,
And Hazio.
Neva, Persona 3 Reload, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Tekken 8, The Plucky Squire, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and Visions of Mana. So I, right off the bat, have a cut.
Okay.
I think we should cut Zelda because we've seen this art style before.
I'm down with it.
I agree.
I'm okay with that.
Great. Goodbye, Zelda. Look at me, already making a cut.
I want to cut Arzette because that is not art. That is literally just vomit on a.
I thought we should keep that game. I think that's
I
like
thought
one of
so
the most
too.
unique. I think
Who
that one's like.
nominated that?
So actually, it was me because when I first looked at this, I was probably one of the last people to contribute to this. And I'm like, all these are really good, but I'm like, is there any other video game that had a unique art style this year? We had plenty of games that look great, and then I recalled RZ, and I'm like, well, it's like, so in one sense, it's so bizarre, but on the other hand, it is so unique. If you mention RZ, I can immediately think of what it looks like. It's
Mhm.
different. So that's the reason why I at least wanted to have it in the discussion because it is unique, you know?
Yeah. I think it deserves to be at least in the conversation for now because it's
Fine.
pretty unique.
Okay.
All right.
Well, y'all gonna hate me because I'm just gonna name the ones I think should not be on here.
Okay.
We're gonna start with Astrobot. We're gonna continue with Destiny. We're gonna continue with Persona 3 Reload. We're gonna continue with Tekken 8. And
Continue as in continuing to delete them?
like knock them off. These are the ones I'm suggesting we knock off. As a matter of fact, here, let me see. Astrobot.
All right. While LeRon's doing that,
Final Shape.
I'm curious about the Mario Luigi Brothership nomination. I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. I only say it because I'm like, didn't one of us comment that we weren't fans of the art style?
I did.
Yeah, that would be Corey.
But I would love to hear the argument for it as well. Like I said, I'm not saying it because I want it out. I just was surprised to see it here.
Yeah, I just I know I'm in the minority here, and like I like the style of art they're trying to go for, but when it's done correctly, I like it. But I feel like there's something a little bit off about it right now, where it just doesn't feel quite finished. The lighting feels a little bit off in a lot of ways. It has that weird 3DS Smash Brothers like feel to it that I just can't stand. But I know I'm in the minority of that, and I think in motion the game actually looks pretty good. But
LeRon, I am kicking that thing from Visions of Mana off. I'm sorry.
I was not impressed with Vision of Mana. I was not impressed.
That game is a freaking picture of art in every single region.
How about this? Before we continue, let's look at the ones that LeRon already starred, because the more we narrow it, so are we comfortable with knocking out Destiny 2, Mario Luigi Brothership, Persona 3 Reload, Tekken 8?
Yeah, Destiny 2, definitely. I nominated Destiny for a lot of things that I know I'm the only one that's going to care about it. because I'm gonna fight for something, fight for it to be somewhere.
Well, here's the thing about it. Here's the reason why I knocked Destiny 2 the Final Shape off there, because Destiny 2 the Final Shape is basically just an expansion of Destiny, which is graphics we've seen over and over again and stuff like that.
Well, the thing is the Final Shape is the one that does everything different. That's the reason why I added it to this category. But it is Destiny, and so we've been seeing Destiny for 10 years. I think it's fine to take it off. I just wanted to see if anybody skipped it.
I think Destiny 2 the Final Shape could qualify for other categories. I'm not saying it doesn't have good art direction, but I think there's a couple others there that really blows it out of the water. So
yeah, so we'll remove it.
All right.
So I'm okay with taking Persona off.
And then
I can make this quick.
Well, Astrobot's a pretty game, but it doesn't really do anything unique in my opinion.
Astrobot feels like more of the same. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay.
All right. So do we want to revisit the Visions of Mana discussion then?
Yes. For me, Visions of Mana.
If Pat wants to fight for it, then
I'm fighting for this one, because it literally was like if you lived in a fantasy world. Like for some, it was amazing how everything looked so like fantasized, so colorful, but it also felt so real. Like just how the environments look, the lighting to the environments, the effects that were going on around it. It's a gorgeous game, and I think that was like one of the strongest points.
I will second that.
I strike my strike against it.
All right,
I'll second that. I might not have played it, but I read through the art book, and I'm already sold.
Okay, so here's the thing about it, because I think we need to establish it right now. How many nominees are we narrowing it down to for each category? 5. Okay. 5. All right. So then, if that's the case, then I'm sorry, Hellblade.
Yeah, I was gonna cut Hellblade from this. I think it's gonna be best sound design in that category.
I'm also going to have to apologize for Prince of Persia and
I was going to say Prince of Persia. Yeah. I would say compared to all the other ones on here, I would agree removing those 3, because RZ is unique. Black Myth Wukong is just jaw-dropping. I believe Metaphor Refantasio, just from what I've seen, sticks out. Neva's a work of art, and Visions of Mana also stands out from a fantasy art design. So I think I would agree with these 5.
I'm fine with these 5.
Okay.
No, what are you going to say, Corey?
Well, I'm just surprised Black Myth Wukong made the list.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful game. I don't think it does anything distinct to make it look different.
There's something it does do very uniquely. At the end of each level, to further the story along, there is basically a cutscene, but each cutscene is done in a different art form, whether it be like almost a stop motion or an anime or other forms. Each one is done in a very different manner. So
nice.
They have a lot of different art directions going on with it.
All right. Well, with that variety, I'm sold.
Yeah, that's a good list.
Let me take one last look here. Let me see. Neva's worth staying on this list, and definitely Metaphor Refantasio. That is like one of the cleanest looking games that we had as a nominee.
Yep, this is a good list. So Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore, Black Myth Wukong, Metaphor Refantasio, Neva, and Visions of Mana.
May the best game win.
Yeah. All right. Best original soundtrack.
Okay.
I have no voice in this conversation.
So first we'll list off everything, and maybe another method we can approach this is we can all name any that we're willing to really fight for, and then kind of go from there. So we have Astrobot, Farewell North, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Metaphor Refantasio, Neva, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2, Stellar Blade, Tekken 8, Echoes of Wisdom, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake. So I can easily start with... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say we can cut Hellblade also. I don't know if that does anything overwhelmingly interesting either. It's a great Like the music makes the game feel epic, but it doesn't do anything interesting.
So this is more like a best. This is not more like a best. Oh wait, soundtrack is also encompassing score. Ooh, that's gonna be because I feel like as a ex music student, I feel like score and soundtrack are two different things.
Probably.
Well,
Probably.
But you know, for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna say let's keep it like this. Yeah.
the
Um,
professional musician that's presenting this did not say anything about this.
Oh, good.
So-
Okay, then it's fine. It's fine.
I can't
Um,
remember if someone else put Silent Hill 2 on or if I did at this point. If we
I know I
have
put
to,
Silent Hill for sound design.
yeah, I'm more willing to fight for sound design. So if Silent Hill 2 gets removed from original soundtrack, I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
The ones that I kind of am leaning toward, I put Farewell North in there. I played through it and I got to speak to the developer. He's got beautiful, Scottish, like actual Scottish origin music. Um,
There's some good
musicians from
Celtic
there.
music in that game. I will
Absolutely.
second
Thank
that.
you. Thank you for being more eloquent. So I just think it has some
Mhm.
genuine, gorgeous Celtic music that you just really don't hear in many other games. And then maybe Dragon Quest 3, depending on how strong the other ones are, because I do love how they're all orchestrated now. And I was pretty blown away by anything orchestrated, I do think, warrants consideration.
Okay. I've got three that I'm gonna say I would fight for on here. It's Tekken 8, Stellar Blade, and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
I would also
Not
say Metaphor stays on
I
this
was
list.
I was gonna say Metaphor also, but I haven't experienced enough Metaphor. All I know for sure is like all the music heads that are gamers love
Mhm.
Metaphor's soundtrack.
Okay.
Same. That's all I've heard on
Mhm.
podcasts. I've heard it. The first thing anybody says about Metaphor is the music
All right.
and how it's
So
about racism. They're the first
I
two
wasn't
comments.
fully sold initially on Metaphor's music, but then after reading Gene Park's review and seeing just what research they did for the music, like in the battles, there's a chant that goes on, like a Buddhist monk that's actually chanting, and
yeah,
it just it was a little
we talked
off-putting
about
to
that.
me.
We talked about that.
Yeah, and what happened is that it's actually like this chant is actually a chant about like unity and fighting for like democracy. And so it's like, well, now it makes sense because that's what this game is all about. It's a very political game about fighting for one's, freedom to govern.
Mhm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, I
um,
say Final Fantasy needs to stay because No Promises to Keep was so freaking beautiful.
All right. I'm
okay,
okay with
And
okay.
that.
Eris's theme, of course.
Are we in agreement with Rebirth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys see what I'm doing on the dock, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think that'll be faster, and we can clean it up later.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also, I won't fight as hard, but I do like that Astrobot remixed a lot of the video game soundtracks that you that
Yeah,
have
the
like
nostalgia
so.
factor of that's just kind of keeping
Mhm.
it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
the Nathan Drake, the God of War, and the
I wonder
Horizon
if the
songs are
Astrobot
just
soundtrack is
beautiful.
available somewhere to listen to. I wonder if it's on Spotify or something.
I think the Astrobot, like speaking from the nostalgia standpoint, and it's kind of the same with Final Fantasy, but like the way Astrobot kind of remixes stuff is the opposite of Zelda, which is why I think I would also cut Zelda from this list because
Yeah,
like
I'm
I
okay with
was
that.
I was going to
yeah.
put Zelda on the chopping block because like Echoes of
Mhm.
Wisdom, in my opinion, really didn't do anything unique. You know, like
Yeah.
it's not like how like we went from the original Legend of Zelda to Link to the Past, how they remixed all that music and it just sounded so epic. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
okay with
I know.
that.
It
I know
sounded
it's so,
more
so
like they
throwback, but
simplified it. It's
all
like
right.
they simplified the music for the Zelda one, made it a little more softer, I guess. I don't know. That was my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna fight hard for Tekken 8. I know Stephanie's played the game too, so Stephanie may be able to back me up on it. But I don't know. Fighting games. Like when you play fighting games as much as I have, like soundtracks get ingrained into your soul and stuff like that. But also Tekken 8 has a very awesome fusion of electronic and contemporary music and stuff like that. In its Tekken soundtracks, I want to say since Tekken Tag Tournament, they start doing this, where it's like an infusion of like electronic music, and stuff like that. And every soundtrack has its own flair and flavor. Like some of them, like if anyone played Tekken Tag Tournament 2, like it was definitely like inspired by current like electronic music at the time, which is like dubstep and some of the other stuff like that. Tekken 7 had more of a hard style tone to it, and Tekken 8's just kind of like all over the place. But like it's like Ed actually, and I'm pretty sure it's because Ed was like doing the fill out for the nominees. Ed even had to hit me up. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "This soundtrack has bangers in it."
So I'm thinking, because I believe it or not, I've actually played Tekken 8, and I do agree, and I think we can all agree that there are a lot of games that have wonderful soundtracks. So whatever we're cutting doesn't mean that the soundtrack is bad or even mediocre.
Yeah.
This is pretty tough. I'm saying that. So we have Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio for 3. We need 2 more. My vote is Tekken 8 and Farewell North. But if anyone else has arguments for anything else to be in the top 5, speak now. And
I would keep Tekken. I haven't heard anything in Tekken, but I will take your word for it. However, I would probably lean more towards Dragon Quest versus Farewell North.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I like the Celtic music, but there's the full orchestra and the fanfare from Dragon Quest. Again, a nostalgic factor, but it's still hits.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. So we got our list.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like.
Yeah, we're
Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Tekken 8, and Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake.
All right.
Best sound design. Again, I guess we can probably cut Destiny because I'm the only one that's heard it, and I think it does a lot of really cool things with sound, but nobody else has heard it, and I don't think anybody's going to understand if you haven't played Destiny since the beginning with the sound stuff. So,
well, let's list what we have so far: Animal Well, Astrobot, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, Destiny 2: The Final Shape, Emio the Smiling Man, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2, Tekken 8. I will die on Silent Hill for Silent Hill 2 for sound design.
Any horror game, I'm going to automatically nominate. And I know Hellblade 2 is not a horror game, but Hellblade 2 is horror adjacent. And
that's like its whole thing too, is its sound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
going to kick off Emio. I have no clue why that's on there because that game's basically a bunch of blips.
That's scary. It's a man with a bag on his head.
Wow. Yeah,
that's not sound. That's picture.
I also threw out Tekken. I mean, like when I say threw out, I didn't nominate Tekken for best sound design, but I just pulled it off the list because it's not a contender when you look at all these other games that are on the list.
So let's see. We need to kick off 2 more.
Yeah. So what does Astrobot sound wise do that's different? Like what makes that unique?
Raindrops on an umbrella. Good old ASRM.
I feel like this should be more in the is the innovation, not the one that does, like, I guess it is innovation because like it utilizes hardware, because you'll hear that rain through the through both the 3D spatial headset as well as the controller.
Yeah, you feel it from the controller. You hear it from the controller.
Accessibility. That's what it is. Accessibility. Yeah. That section. So I'm okay if we want to remove Astrobot from sound design.
Okay, it's fine.
I honestly. Oh wait,
you were arguing to keep that.
Oh, I mean we can, but I was just saying it also fits better in like the accessibility category.
All right, who has played Black Ops 6?
I played it. It didn't do anything different than Call of Duty normally does, in my opinion. But
It's
everybody
also a
says that
game that utilizes sound.
the sound design is impeccable.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I hear guns shooting and people talking. I don't.
Call
Okay,
of
I don't
Duty
care if we
usually
cut
has
it,
that pedigree.
No. I think I'm gonna put a case for keeping Call of Duty on there. I'm gonna say like we kick Final Fantasy VII, Animal Well, and we have our 5 games right there.
So be Call of Duty, Destiny 2, Astrobot,
Astrobot. Yep.
Senua Saga, and Silent Hill 2. Okay.
Yeah.
do
Goodbye,
we want
memorable blip of Final Fantasy.
my last thing before we start deleting everything? Are we sure we want 2 shooters on there? I mean, not I don't care. I just everybody okay with having 2 shooters on there, even though they're different types of shooters?
Well, I mean,
I
what?
don't.
Okay, so what is a remake art? Okay, so I thought about this because like if this was like the Dead Space remake on here, like we could definitely know like, hey, that game has sound design. But what did Final Fantasy VII Rebirth do as far as sound design? Because I think Final Fantasy VII's sound strength was in its soundtrack. If we're gonna look at like what a game sounds like, you know what I mean?
I didn't play it, so I can't tell you.
I honestly, sound design, I don't like.
Sound design
I
is weird because like you have to be like a different level of audiophile to like appreciate sound design.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be more of out nostalgia, such as like the menu bleep, that you hear that's Final Fantasy ish. But I honestly could not tell you what else would make that super special. But I'm
Well,
not
what?
a.
Okay,
I'm
so
not. I
we
could
haven't.
care one way or another. So it's. I was fine with what we chose for our
Okay.
5.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I was gonna say, because like I don't know, like I'm not trying to be like like a dictator or anything like that. I just feel like I think what we're doing is pretty strong, and also we're trying to keep this from being a 4-hour show for our listeners tonight.
Yeah.
Yep. I will fight though for that umbrella sound because it is so relaxing.
Oh, for Astrobot. Okay, I was like, wait, Umbrella.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were talking about Eris's parasol.
No.
All right, so best direction and storytelling. Our nominees are Destiny 2 The Final Shape, Dragon Age The Veilguard, Emio The Smiling Man, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor Refantasio, Neva Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2,
He froze.
Still Wakes the Deep.
And then Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2, and Still Wakes the Deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will fight for Destiny 2 for this.
I was gonna say no one's gonna argue with you on Destiny 2 this time. The RPGs definitely, like they have their like even Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because like if anyone's been paying attention to the Final Fantasy VII Remake project, they're doing phenomenal things to the story and they're adding on. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
my two keepers are Final Fantasy and Metaphor.
Okay. Yeah, I was definitely gonna say. Honestly, I was gonna say Dragon Age, Final Fantasy, Metaphor, and then you guys can like duke it out for like the other ones.
I would actually. I didn't play Silent Hill 2, but I think what they did with the story is really unique and fascinating. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but to kind of tie it back to the original game or the original Silent Hill 2, and the way they've kind of played with that is really cool. I would argue that stays.
Wait, did someone just delete Metaphor? And I put it back on there, or what? I was trying to underline it.
I see it.
Okay.
Hey, I'm a fan of Silent Hill 2, so I'm not going to argue against that.
I'm not gonna argue with anything that you guys are wanting to stay on there. Like, because I feel like Silent Hill 2, like what they had to do in Silent Hill 2 definitely enriched like the original experience, because the original experience, Silent Hill 2, in my opinion, like back when I played it back in the day, like it was but I was also team Resident Evil. You know.
Yeah.
All right.
As for Senua's Saga, I know I was pretty, you know, blunt on this game of like it being amazing, but I also know you either loved it or you didn't, and I think that by
How well
itself,
did you thought it told the story though? That's
Yeah, because you were
well,
the expert. You were the expert on this one.
it depends on how much you connect with Senua, I think, and how you interpret the story through how she's feeling and how you feel, right? So to me, not everybody's going to get it, and I think that sure that's good storytelling in a way, but it's also bad if you're trying to win an award for something that appeals to everybody.
Well, but here's the thing, like best storytelling doesn't mean creating a story that every
Mm-hmm.
single person can relate to because
yeah.
everybody's life experiences will be different.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how they told the story. As someone who's new to the Hellblade franchise, or so to speak, I thought that was it Ninja Theory? They did a fantastic job conveying storytelling in the game. So
Mm-hmm.
I am very up or pro or whatever for it being on this list, but again, it
Mm-hmm.
depends on how much we're down to, right? So
Yeah.
Destiny 2 is a keeper, Final Fantasy 7 is a keeper, and ReFantazio is a keeper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Pat,
I,
what
I
say you
could
about
get
the
down.
Veilguard?
The Veilguard has some good twists in it. And I do like how they like the lore in that game is very phenomenal and very like rich. Um, I would probably take off like a Dragon Infinite Wealth just because, well, the characters are amazing. It's the story didn't really offer too much anything like new or like I can't believe they're doing this kind of story. Like
Mm-hmm.
Neva, however, literally told its story without using words. And I thought that was very cool. Well, okay, they said the person said Neva, but like there's no narrator. There's like the whole story you can is just portrayed in its actions and its environment. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but yet you understood what was going on. So it was a very unique way of telling a story.
Yeah, I think my vote for what's left would be Neva and Silent Hill 2. As much as I
Yeah,
love Hellblade,
Okay.
that would be my vote.
I'd vote for that.
All right. So, Best Direction and Storytelling, the nominees that remain are Destiny 2, Final Shape, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Neva, and Silent
Someone
Hill
can
2.
go.
I was just like, wait, hold on. Well,
Um.
that
All
leads
right.
to something adjacent, right, Corey? Best
Yep.
narrative driven game or visual novel.
Yep.
We got a
Mhm.
couple nominees here: A Thousand Times Resist, of which I've heard fantastic things.
I've
Two
heard
Ace,
amazing things too,
yeah,
which is weird. It's like I think we should keep it, even though none of us has played it.
Ace Attorney Apollo Justice Trilogy, Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth, Another Code Recollection, Emio the Smiling Man, Farewell North, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Neva, and Until Then. Um,
All right.
I've heard nothing but great things about what is it 1000x
yeah, time.
resist
hmm
times
Mhm.
resist. I've heard nothing but amazing things about that game. I haven't played it, but I have heard a ton of great things about it.
I listened to Dave's Tales from the Backlog on it. I vote that that's definitely one of the five.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, the only other game I can really speak to is Farewell North. So I will lean on the rest of the group to kind of whittle down the other four.
All right. I'm probably the one that's played the most of these.
I haven't played any of them,
Um,
so
yeah, Amio story does not get good until like the absolute end of the game,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Okay.
So I would be okay with taking that one off.
Okay.
As for the Ace Attorneys, if I had to keep one, I would probably keep Investigations on there.
Because the trilogy is just a remake, right?
Yeah, I
I
mean
mean a
they're both
remaster, or more like a remaster, right?
remasters essentially, but even though Miles Edgeworth has a game that never came out in America, I would
That's
say
why
the
that's
yeah, the characters here I felt grew the most, and the cases were definitely a lot more interesting, in my opinion. Like the Ace Attorney games tell a great story, and I highly recommend anyone to try those out. So I would probably keep Miles.
Okay.
I really liked Until Then as well.
Since
Kind of want to keep
Neva
that.
since Neva is nominated for Best Direction Storytelling, is there any room to remove Neva from here to provide opportunities for other very well done games in this category?
That you know what I would be okay with that because while said that Neva, like the way they told the story was amazing, the story itself is okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know, it was more just how they did it versus what was in it,
Okay.
Mhm.
So let's
in
remove
my
that if everyone
opinion.
else is okay.
I would also be okay with removing Life is Strange Double Exposure. It was good. It was a good story. It wasn't the best of the Life is Stranges, though. Um, and the story almost kind of lost its focus towards the end. So I feel like that one probably could go.
All right. That
And
leaves
5.
5.
yep,
We did it.
Nice. And good variety too.
Yep.
So, A Thousand Times Resist, Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth, Another Code Recollection, Farewell North, and Until Then.
Nice. All right. Best media adaptation. I feel like this will go relatively quickly. I feel like there are good ones and bad ones on this list. I just wrote down every single media adaptation that came out this year. So the nominees
I
are Arcane,
okay.
Borderlands, Fallout, Knuckles, the Paramount TV show, Like a Dragon, Yakuza from Amazon, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and Tomb Raider the animated series. I think Borderlands can go because I heard it was trash.
Borderlands can
Yeah.
go. Also, if anyone's read, was it Shane's Boss Rush banner on Yakuza, like a
No,
Dragon
keep,
Yakuza, like that can go too.
Pat,
no.
what were you going to
Keep it.
say?
You're going to have to keep it because I don't think it's fair to put Sonic 3 on here as it is not officially out yet. So
Oh
Isn't it
yeah,
out?
why is that on here?
Isn't
I'm
it out?
sure it's going to be good.
I saw.
However,
I just saw people saying they saw it and said it was good, like normal
I don't
people.
know how. It doesn't come out until I think mid
I'm looking
month.
it up right now. I'm looking it up right now.
So I don't know. I put it on here because I saw people saying they thought it was good.
All right.
Sonic the
Any other?
Hedgehog 3 drops December 20th. It's not going to make the list. It's not going to make our list. No.
Okay, well,
Yeah, we need to cut it.
All right. I think that
And
makes
that would leave
5, right?
5.
yep, that's
Yep.
5.
Oh my
Sorry,
god.
Sonic. I guarantee
Somehow
you
we
it's
somehow left Like a Dragon on here. Jesus Christ.
We can put Borderlands back on if you really want, LeRon.
I'm no, but you know what? By the time we get to actually voting on the Bossies, I will have watched all 6 episodes of Like a Dragon Yakuza. I'll come back to you guys on this one.
Mm.
This is next one's exciting. Best Performance. It's another
okay.
long list. Brianna White for Aerith in Final Fantasy. Chippo Chung, narrator, Senua Saga Hellblade 2. We also got Chris O'Reilly as Thorgester, Senua Saga. Hannah Tell, Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Humberly Gonzalez, Star Wars Outlaws, Luke Roberts, Silent Hill 2, Melina Jurgens, I'm really bad at the pronunciation, I'm
You got it
sorry,
right. You
as
got it right.
Senua,
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion, Cade 6, Destiny 2, Troy Baker, Indiana Jones, Zena Robinson from Persona 3 Reload. The only one I will die on the hill is once again a Silent Hill actor, Luke Roberts.
Mhm.
Everything else I will defer to you.
I
Okay,
will.
I'm going to fight for Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, he made the entire thing. Like
Okay.
if he was not Cade, it wouldn't have worked.
I am also going to fight for Brianna.
Yeah, I will fight for Brianna. I will be her
I
knight
will-
in shiny armor.
I will fight for Troy Baker's Indiana Jones. He sounds just
I
like
was-
Harrison Ford.
I was gonna ask you to back me up on Troy Baker for Indiana Jones, because I was like, first, because my whole thing was like, man, like, are they gonna call me a Indiana Jones fanboy, or are they gonna call me a Troy Baker fanboy?
I mean, I'm a fan of both. So
All
Even though the
It's-
game is not out yet, but I will agree. Just
It comes
based
out
on
this
all the
week, though, right?
previews.
yeah,
It does.
It comes out
but
this
based
week,
on all the
so-
previews, we've heard enough to
Yeah.
determine that he's a damn good indie.
if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition, you get it on the 6th, so it'll be out by
Nice.
the time our stuff closes.
By the time
And
our voting is done.
Yeah.
By the way, don't be fooled, guys. Like, whenever they say it's early access for people to pre-order, that was the day it was meant to come out. Like, they're just
Well,
they
no,
just want to pull more money.
It's how Xbox is making their money off of the Game Pass, not selling it from Game Pass,
Yeah.
because you get what 15% off the Ultimate Bundle if you're a Game Pass subscriber. So
Yeah.
all right,
That's
we need
what I get
one
for
more.
Starfield.
Yeah, we need one more.
I mean, I would fight for Melina Juergens as Senua, but that's
I would fight for Hannah.
We've got
Tell,
Hannah
but I
Tell,
wouldn't fight
though.
that hard.
Oh,
I've never.
We're gonna coin toss between Melina and Hannah.
You know what? I will go with this judgment. Who has a coin? Who has a coin that they can flip?
Who
I was
cares?
kind of being funny, but I think Pat's being
Yeah.
for real.
I don't know if our
Might
audience
be.
will take us seriously if we flip a coin.
If we flip a coin, yeah, we need to hash this out.
Fuck.
I didn't play Life is Strange. I don't know who Hannah Tell is, so I guess
No. The one thing I will say about, like, I don't need to play the latest Life is Strange to know, like, all the acting talent behind the voices in any Life is Strange games have always been great. Even when they had little kids voicing like parts, it's been great.
Mm-hmm. Well, although I can't speak to Life is Strange, the reason why I feel strongly to recognize Melina is, there's a lot of emotion that and that she needs to convey, and also she voice all her other voices in her head, right? And they
no,
all
she doesn't do that.
Oh, she doesn't?
No,
No.
those are other people.
Well, then I can no longer participate in
Stephanie's
this
like,
discussion.
Stephanie's like, so long, farewell.
Well, yeah, so you know what? I rescind my vote from between Hannah and Melina because I'm no longer qualified.
Yeah.
Man,
So that's 2-on-1 right now.
it's gonna be really hard to cut Melina from this list.
Melina got an award already. She doesn't need another one. Then again, Brianna got hers this year too, but
yeah.
Well, does either voice actress were they able to do something different or challenging, like the way they express or convey emotion to drive a story forward?
Okay,
I know Melina did all of her own stunts and all of her own acting, like the full mocap acting with everything.
Yeah, that's with that point brought up, I would lean more towards
Is that the leading edge?
Because it's more than just the voice, it is the capture.
Okay,
and the
that
fact
makes sense.
that she like contorts her face and shit.
Yeah,
for those.
All right,
that is a good looking game, man. So
all right, we're doing well. We're doing well.
Is that what we're doing? Is that?
Yep, Melina, she made it.
All right, so our list is Brianna White, Luke Roberts, Melina Juergens, Nathan Fillion, and Troy Baker. All right, best animal companion. I don't know if I have a.
Could it be just best companion, or does that have to be an animal? Because I thought about this,
and
I love
to be an animal.
Not a sentient hoverboard.
Not a sentient hoverboard. It's got to be an animal.
I don't.
Technically,
I have zero skin in this game. Then
Technically, Nyx is a alien species, not an animal.
Yeah. Axe it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I guess Chesley would
He's
not
an alien
count because
animal.
you play as Chesley, right? So you're not your own companion, right? So.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Oh man, I like Chesley. Okay.
Well, that would give
Goodbye,
us 5
Chesley.
then.
There you go.
All right.
Either way, the correct answer is Asan the Griffin.
Oh yeah. Let's read. I don't know if we even read it all. Asan,
We didn't.
Dragon Age Veilguard, Korumaru, Persona 3 Reload, Neva and Neva, Nyx, Star Wars Outlaws, and Ramka, Visions of Mana. Ramka.
Yep.
All right. Best new character. Elaine, Unicorn Overlord, Emmy Kimura of Yar's Revenge, Eve of Stellar Blade, Gory from Gory's Cuddly Carnage, Lewis from Metaphor ReFantasio, Lucanus Delamorte from Dragon Age The Veilguard. Hope I said that right. The Destined One, Black Myth Wukong, Tri from The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Victor from Tekken 8, and Zhao from Tales of Kenzara Zhao.
Okay, y'all gonna have to fight me hard to knock Victor off this list. I'm telling you that now.
Is Victor a new character?
What'd you say, Pat?
Is Victor a new character, or is he a returning character?
He's brand new.
He's new.
Like he's never. All right. He's never been seen in Tekken before Tekken 8.
Got it.
The Destined One. I didn't play Black Myth Wukong yet, but I'm going to assume that is the Monkey Prince. And I say that just because this has come from true Chinese myth, so I do find that different.
Black Myth is kind of a sequel to A Journey to the West. So soon Wukong, you play in the very beginning, but you are not Wukong in the game. You are a different monkey named the Destined One.
Okay.
I think we can cut Tri from Zelda.
Yeah, Tri's not like that. I mean, Tri's fine, but I don't know. Nothing special. Like, Tri doesn't have the personality like Gory does. Gory's got a lot of personality.
I think Gory stays.
We can keep Gory.
I
want to keep Lewis, but Lewis is also going to be in another category too.
Okay.
But in my opinion, Lewis is a fantastic villain because he's almost a villain that you fight for. But he's also very brutal and gives you reason to hate him as well. So, but I don't know. Like, that could be a maybe. The one I really do want to keep, though, is Zhao. Because Zhao's character growth was very, very good.
Yeah, plus the story behind the game is really fascinating. Not the political bashing, but just the real story behind the game is really fascinating, and I think Zhao should stay.
Yeah.
I
I'm
agree.
okay with cutting Elan from Unicorn Overlord because he's kind of one-dimensional.
Okay. Anyone familiar with the Yars Rising Emmy?
She's spunky.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's fun.
Okay.
She's not my top pick, but she is also a very animated character. So,
all right. I mean, we have room for 2 if we were to keep Zhao, Victor, and Gory. So,
maybe get rid of the Destined One just because of the fact that he's pretty much just a personification of you.
True.
Like, he has no other personality other than what you control him to do.
Fair. I'm okay with that.
Lucanus, though, he was a good character.
Okay.
What's interesting about Eve from Stellar Blade besides everybody thirsting over her?
Good question. Question.
I mean, that's a legit question. I'm not trying to make fun of it, but I mean, clearly she's appealing visually, but what makes her a unique thing, because like the story is kind of like a not as well told Nier kind of story.
Well, if we have to ask that question, this is my proposal that we keep Lucanus and Emmy, cut Eve, and cut Lewis for Metaphor only because he will be in another category where he might be more fitting.
It works for me.
Lucanus, we have Lucanus also as his husbando, which is definitely a more fitting category for him. To be perfectly honest.
All right, would you rather have Lewis instead of Lucanus? Seems like
I'd
Emmy is
almost skip.
staying.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
Emmy's-
wait, hold on a second. All right, this might make it easier for us to help out with best new character. Do they have substance on top of being hot?
That was
Luis,
my
yes.
question.
Oh, it
Lucanus
was.
also-
My bad.
That's why Eve, maybe not. But
I mean, I don't want to take away from that story from Stellar Blade, because I do think the story is cool and interesting, but like that story's been told in Nier, and I don't know. It's just my opinion.
I'd probably cut Eve and Lucanus, to be honest. I
Okay.
love Lucanus, but his story isn't exactly one that hasn't been told before.
Okay. Well, then let's,
Demon assassin, but he makes one hell of a cup of coffee.
Nice. All right, there's our 5.
All right.
Emmy, Gory, Lewis, Victor, and Zhao, our best new characters. Look at that.
Oh boy, we have
boy.
a long best villain, huh? List.
Yeah.
We can probably cut a lot of this very fast, though.
Yeah. I will fight for the Witness in Destiny 2.
All right, so we got Elgarnon from Dragon Age, Emmerich
Elganon,
Voss.
As someone
Thank
who's
you.
played Dragon Age, I would say Elganon needs to go, because as powerful as he was insanely generic.
Okay.
He was literally, I'm evil because that's who I am.
Mhm.
Therefore, I want power to enslave everyone.
We're gonna need just a little bit of time with Indiana Jones, because, like, based off of what I saw of Emmerich Voss from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle off that preview, he
Mhm.
just seems like the typical like Nazi generic villain.
Yeah. I think because Indiana Jones isn't out for everybody yet, I put some of these things on just to maybe we would put an asterisk by it, and then if it fit, we could revisit it at some point, or just cut it all together later. But
Well, which
yeah,
of these are definites?
Luis and
Well, first of all, let's
read the list.
let's continue naming them off.
Yeah.
All right, Emmerich Voss, Indiana Jones, Lewis from Metaphor Fantasio, Mother Sphere, Stellar Blade, Nick's Avatar from Persona 3 Reloaded, Null from Echoes of Wisdom, Overlord Galerius, Unicorn Overlord.
Galeris, yep.
Thank you, Radon from Elden Ring, Shadow of the Third Tree, Sephiroth, Final Fantasy VII. Someone else finish.
Sliro Barsha from Star Wars Outlaws, Varam from The Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and the Witness from Destiny 2: The Final Shape. All right, so this is going to be my controversial take. Anybody that's a villain that came from a remake or a rehash needs to go. So that's goodbye Sephiroth, goodbye Nyx.
No, I'm
Man,
gonna
I
keep
would
him
say
because
Sephiroth stays.
Sephiroth
even
wins
though he's
every time he's on these lists, though, and I mean
it's a retell. It's a different telling of Sephiroth, though.
Yeah,
he's doing nothing different, though. He's going to destroy the whole fucking world.
Okay, well, here's the question:
but
who
his
would you replace him with?
manipulation.
Who would I replace him with for
Yeah.
best villain?
Yeah, who's better than Sephiroth besides the Witness in Destiny 2: The Final Shape?
Look, I like what you did there.
Mm-hmm. And Luis. No.
Well, you guys hash that out. Give me a minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna find you a villain.
Mother Sphere and Stellar Blade isn't really that interesting, in my opinion.
No. We can get rid of Mother Sphere.
Okay.
I like Nyx, but I would be okay with Nyx disappearing as well. Nyx was essentially death, and death could never be destroyed. And it's very the way how it's handled is kind of sad, but it was both a good villain who neither was evil nor good. It was just doing its job as death. But it's there are some better villains on here.
All right, Corey, I got it.
Uh-oh.
Lord Zocket from Mario and Luigi Brothership.
That's not even on the list. Can't add to the list. We're deleting from the list.
You said who to replace if we kick him off. You didn't say who do we introduce to the list.
All right. So right now, Corey and I both say Sephiroth stays. LeRon says Sephiroth goes. Steph, you're going to have to be a tiebreaker here.
I think you're going to have a riot if Sephiroth's not on here.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I tell you what. Here's what we'll do then. We'll go ahead and let Sephiroth stay. But what I want to do is I want to invite everyone, every listener, every viewer to this show to hit us in the comments. Should Sephiroth have actually stayed or actually gone? There we go.
I think the Star Wars villain could probably go. It's generic Star Wars villain A.
Well, speaking of generic, I enjoyed I don't know what you guys think for Zelda. I enjoyed the no boss fight, but as a villain altogether, again, not bad, but it was fine. So if we're talking about cream of the crop, I would say Null is not, even though I did enjoy the fight.
I agree with that.
I don't know if I would classify Radahn as a villain, to be perfectly honest with you. I'd classify the fiery snake dude as the true villain of Erdtree.
Okay.
I just wrote down what the internet said, who was the main villain.
So
he was the final villain, but he wasn't the one that, he wasn't the guy who was plotting everything. He just was the consort of.
Yeah.
He was the protector of the person in the egg.
So between these three, we need to eliminate one. Emmerich Voss, Nyx Avatar, sorry. Oh, wait, 4. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm seeing double. Overlord, someone else talk, I'm sorry.
I think we can cut the Indiana Jones villain.
Yeah, cut him.
Because there's not enough to go on. Varum from Prince of Persia, cool design, not really that interesting.
I mean, his background story was actually kind of unique. So
is it more unique than Nyx?
Yeah, more unique than Nyx. Like I said, Nyx is just death personified. Varum was a child of the kingdom that got ransacked by the current leader of Persia, and he was seeking revenge and trying to reclaim his birthright as the true prince.
I would take him over Nyx then.
Okay.
I don't know much about Overlord Galerius. I know you keep correcting me, Pat. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's not a problem. He's Unicorn Overlord. He was a general that overthrew the kingdom, kind of sold his kingdom to a different nation. I haven't fully gotten into his motivation, but I have heard that his story does get a little bit on the personal side, but I can't verify that.
Okay. Well then.
Well, based on the information presented to me, Pat, what do you think?
I would be either okay with Overlord or Nyx disappearing. I would keep Varum.
All right, keeping Varum. Based off what you told me, I would go for Overlord and Nyx.
Nyx the Nyx.
Works for me.
Right. Nyx is Nyx. So we got Lewis from Metaphor Fantasio, the Overlord, that's all I'm going to say, Sephiroth, Varum, and the Witness.
I feel like we're making a mistake giving Sephiroth on here, but whatever.
It's fine, LeRon.
The mistakes will be made.
Most unlikely hero or biggest dork. Ooh. Adam from Stellar Blade, Catherine from Until Then, Luigi from Mario Luigi Brothership, Fidelio and Basilio, Metaphor Refantasio, Martial Law Tekken 8, Ryoma from Rise of the Ronin, and Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I think we should just call it a day and announce Luigi as the winner.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it goes.
It's unanimous that we're keeping Luigi on here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I really have no fight in this. To be honest, I will.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
will-
have a hard time. I'm gonna have a hard time with this too. I understand. I understand now why Ed was grilling me about Tekken the other day, because martial law is on here, and he was legit asking me questions about martial law. Now, martial law is definitely the comic relief for the Tekken 8 storyline overall, but I don't feel like martial law should be on this list.
All right, then
What
out he goes.
Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII? Is she a dork? Unlike a
Yes.
hero?
Dude, she
is.
she is
It's hard. It's hard to say because like her whole stick is like she's a materia thief.
She's got her like own like introduction though, and like her own like saying, like magic girl like
Yeah.
movements, and
Okay.
basically she comes off as very immature, but she does have some good like saving moments.
Okay. What about who is Adam from Stellar Blade? Is that the guy that like helps you at the beginning and like flies you around and
Yeah, he's the male companion.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I like Ryuma and I like Catherine, and I would like to keep those two.
All right.
All right.
Because when I also look at this category, I think of like who is like the friend that you want to have in your corner.
Well,
Okay.
if that's the case, then we have our 5. Catherine,
Yeah,
Luigi, Ryoma, and Yuffie. So as long as we're okay cutting the other 3.
We need one
a
more.
fifth.
Oh,
Right?
I can't count. Sorry. Sorry.
I say we
Well,
keep
we're-
martial law to make Ed mad.
You said keep or kick?
Keep him.
Okay. Okay.
Tekken needs some love on here.
Tekken's got some love. We've already got a best new character entry on here.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Tekken's
Husbando.
also on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Husbando of the year.
Husbando. All right.
I'm Team
Oh,
Victor,
yeah.
baby.
Yes, sir. So am I.
I don't know who half these
I'm-
characters are.
I'm sorry, Victor's daddy.
Yeah. So we got Cloud, of course,
Oh.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Ichiban, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Kiryu, Kazuma, same game, Lucanus, again, Dragon Age Veilguard, Sephiroth, Van Arkride, and Victor Chevalier. Tekken 8.
Hey, Corey, I'm
Yeah.
gonna send you a link to his reveal trailer for Victor. You gonna watch it right now.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch it right now.
I'm gonna say right here, Sephiroth, his thrust game is on point.
Okay.
See, now this is when I can agree with Sephiroth being on.
Jeez.
If you had to pick between
that would-
Ichiban and Kiryu, who's the better husbando in the Infinite Wealth game?
I would say Kiryu is the
Kiryu.
better husband. Ichiban is the best friend. Like he's the one that you would hang out with, but in terms of actual life skills, Ichiban would probably you'd be doing more work than Ichiban. He'd be supportive of you though.
Yeah, but we're looking for husbando here.
Mhm.
I'm looking up Van Arkride, and he's kind of cute.
He's if you look at trails of shipping, he's pretty high on the shipping list.
I say keep him and Lucanus and kick out Cloud because we got Sephiroth, but that's just my opinion.
I'd say kick out Cloud because Cloud's not all there.
Yeah. Besides, he's still got one more game.
Mhm.
So, all right, we got Kiryu.
Lucanus can
Lucanus.
make the world's best coffee, so I'm
Um,
pretty sure that's husband material right there.
Corey, did you watch that video?
I did.
Yo, aren't you getting like Ninja John Wick vibes off this dude?
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Come on, he's fucking people up with a sword, wearing a suit with knives, and he has a gun. Come on now.
All right, waifu of the year. We're done with husband.
Jesus Christ.
Waifu of the year.
I
No,
hate
we got to
you.
keep it moving.
Yep.
We're slowing down. All right, Aerith, Eve from Stellar Blade, Max from Life is Strange, Melano from Hades 2, Nina from Tekken, Rosalind from Unicorn Overlord, Xianhe, is that how you say that? Of Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Tifa from Final Fantasy VII.
See,
All
Eve
right,
makes
so-
sense here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who nominated Nina Williams, but I'm gonna say let's kill Nina Williams because like this character from Tekken 8 should have actually been a best new character. Reina from Tekken 8.
oops.
Mm.
Yeah, I
say
think
get rid of the Hades too because that game's not official.
Yeah, it's not official.
Aw. Well, when it is, my vote's
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
Put it back
Um,
then. Anyone who kicks
I
out
think-
Aerith will immediately be banned from our channel. So
Excuse me?
anyone who
I
kicks
feel
off
like-
Aerith,
I feel like Aerith, Tifa, and Eve are like the iconic waifus of this list in
Mhm.
various aspects of what you're looking for in a waifu.
so that's 3.
Is Max even old enough to be on this list? I feel like
I don't see her as a waifu.
she's a college an assistant college professor in the new game. So she's like young 20s.
Mm.
I feel dirty because the only Life is Strange game I played, she was a high school student, so I feel kind of weird.
She's grown up now. Grow up with her.
Oh.
Nope, cut it. I feel
right.
gross just.
I'm gonna look at the images of the remaining characters and see which one tickles my fancy.
I think the Like a Dragon character, I don't know how you say that name, but I think she stays. She looks like a badass waifu.
I don't even know who she is. Let me see.
Oh,
what
heck
she
yeah.
So she
Yeah,
stays.
Xianhe. Yeah. She can be my waifu any day. Let's see what Rosalind looks like.
Looks more and more like Max is getting the axe.
Man, you guys would have so much fun. Well, I don't know if you guys.
She's so
Max-
elfy.
People are into that.
Let's see.
All right.
Why her boobies hanging out?
Max
Because
Caulfield?
she's a waifu.
No, Rosalind.
Yeah, because she's a waifu, clearly. So, sorry, Max. My
where-
vote
where
is
you
kick Max out.
Yep, Max.
Like,
Max has
like,
personality.
Like,
Nope.
where you-
That's
where you-
not what
where you-
waifus are for.
Like, girl,
Max
where your
has
clothes
dad
at?
jokes.
Where your clothes at, girl?
My 6-year-old
Moving
also
on.
has a personality and dad jokes. She's not on this list.
I hate this.
All right, so we got Aerith, Eve, Rosalind, Xianhe, and Tifa. Let's go. Biggest moment. Ghost and Cade Sacrifice, Destiny 2. The Hunter's Dare, Destiny 2. Aerith's Fate, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The Last Level, Neva. Kiru's Cancer, Like a Dragon. Infinite Wealth, The Forest Sanctuary, Revelation, Metaphor, Refantasio. And the final push, Dragon Age Veilguard. I have no stake in any of these. Please decide.
Okay,
So-
one of those Destiny 2 ones has to go. So
Here's the thing. I don't think there should be 2 Destiny 2 things on here, but I think they definitely both deserve to be on here.
oh my god.
I
Okay,
think
you know
that-
what? This
I
is one of those categories though where one game can't like take all the spots.
I know I'm making a case here, LeRon. I think
Present.
ultimately, the Ghost and Cade sacrifice at the end of the final shape is such a personal connection to the player, especially if you've been playing since the beginning. The Hunter's Dare mission, I think overall shows Man, I don't know. I think the Ghost and Cade sacrifice should stay. So, yes, LeRon, we are trying to keep rolling. So, that's mine.
All right. Here's what I'm voting. Here's what I'm voting for to keep. Aerith's Fate. You know, because I feel it's like the shot heard around the world. Kiryu's cancer was a big deal.
It was, but it also didn't. I don't know. I didn't get as far in like a dragon, and his reveal just kind of was like, "I have cancer," and everyone's like, "What? No way!"
Okay.
Man, it sucks. I mean, the final push in Dragon Age was almost as up there with Mass Effect 2 Final Suicide Mission, where your decisions really affected how that went.
All right. Well, we can kick Kiryu's cancer then. We can kick it.
Okay. Kick cancer to the curb.
Yeah, that's what we want to do anyway. So yeah.
All right.
All right. Great. Look at that list. 5. There's 5. Great. All right. Best licensed game. We should probably just clear some of these out now because they probably don't deserve to be on this list. I just threw every licensed game that came out on this list. I already deleted one.
All right. Well, I'm deleting Batman Arkham Shadow.
Why that's the best one on the list.
You think so?
That's the only one that anybody likes.
Some pretty damn good things.
Marvel Rivals isn't out yet.
Wait, what?
Let's get rid of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad can probably go. Splintered Fate is good, but it's a port from it's like a 5-year-old game, so maybe that shouldn't be
kill that. Quidditch Champions, I'd say kill that one.
So is that even a good game?
I've heard Hunters. Okay, yeah. Sorry,
no,
I saw you had Star Wars Hunters, and I've actually heard good things about it. So
yes,
but Marvel's Rival also has good things on it.
Oh, we got 5.
2 of these games aren't even out yet, though.
Which 2?
Yeah,
Indiana Jones and Power Rangers.
That comes out Indiana Jones comes out this week. When does Power Rangers come out?
The 10th.
It's close enough.
We all did play it at PAX, right? Or
we did. Well, yeah. So. Batman Arkham Shadow, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Readers Rewind, Star Wars Hunter, Star Wars Outlaws.
Do we want Star Wars or do we want Marvel Rivals? Because they're both essentially the same game.
I think we should replace one of the Star Wars games with Marvel Rivals. Because I know people who played the beta love that game. Will that be out by the time we're done with this?
I'm about to look it up right now.
Ooh, good point.
All right. So yeah, Batman Arkham Shadow, Indiana Jones, Power Rangers, Marvel Rivals, Star Wars Outlaws. Good list. All right, so best sports and racing
planned release for Marvel Rivals is the 5th of December, so that's in 2 days from this recording.
Okay. So EA Sports FC, I'm cutting. Flight Simulator, I've heard good things. College football smashed out of the park. Madden probably.
Still Madden.
NBA 2K is good every year. Neo Sprint, I heard mixed reviews.
Wait, Pacific Drive?
Yeah,
probably is a sim.
Pacific Drive? I thought that was like a survival horror game.
I thought it was like I thought it was a survival driving.
Who nominated that?
I don't. It just feels very out there with this category.
Yeah, let's. Shit. That should have been like the horror in like horror adventure.
WWE 2K24, I heard was not great.
It was mid.
So there.
What's Neo Sprint?
There it is. Neo Sprint is the Atari kind of retro racing game that came out. People.
Oh yeah. Keep that. All
right, there's our list. College football, flight sim, NBA 2K25, Neo Sprint, and Test Drive. All right, best action game. We need to delete 2 of these.
Matt Keel will fight us if we kill Helldivers. he will find all of us in our sleep.
Whoa, what happened here?
So we got Astrobot, Bakaru, Black Myth Wukong, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, and Rise of the Ronin.
I think Black Myth, Helldivers, and Stellar Blade stay.
Okay.
Yeah, definition of I'm gonna say let's kick Astrobot.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Action game. Wait, is there a platformer category? If there's a platformer category, then Astrobot can go.
No, Astrobot should have been
No.
in the action adventure category, but
Are you sure?
there's a lot in there already.
I
No,
mean, because
Astrobot would probably win that category.
Astrobot's level based, not really open world.
It doesn't have to be open world.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be open world.
I don't. Okay, I just don't get the difference between action, adventure.
Well,
The
this
way I
action
pictured it is, if
says
it's like linear level based, I would almost consider it action.
action games that rely on stylized action as a precision tool, where the progression is driven by the player's pure skill. I would say Astrobot is very relevant to that description.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I just threw my vote in behind Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, I heard that game seems awesome.
I
Rise of the Ronin, I heard, was mid.
we can get rid of Rise of the
mid too.
Ronin.
And
But
then
if we
what is Backaroo?
take
I've never even heard of it.
Backaroo is kind of like it is an action game. It kind of like it has the aesthetics of Mystical Ninja. But you're like a
It's the spiritual successor to Mystical Ninja. I remember this now. And okay, well, which one's going, Backaroo or Astrobot? Because I feel like Backaroo has like a big leg to stand on.
I feel like Astrobot stays.
Yeah, Astrobot's game of the year is like the high contender of game of the year. If we get rid of that kind of destroys the integrity.
Stays.
So we're killing the very niche game.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
I feel like niche is what we do here at Boss Rush, so it's kind of weird.
Well, niche doesn't always mean good. Best action adventure game: Banishers, Ghost of New Eden, Batman: Arkham Shadow, Dungeons of Hinterberg, Indiana Jones, Lego Horizon, Prince of Persia, Silent Hill 2,
out of here.
Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Sonic and Shadow Generations, Star Wars Outlaws, Tales of Kinsara Zelda, Plucky Squire, Unknown 9 Awakening. I heard Unknown.
Goodbye, Plucky Squire.
Yeah, Plucky Squire Unknown goes.
I
got rid of Legos. Sorry, Legos was boring as hell.
Banishers, I heard, was okay, but not amazing. I feel like there's
Silent Hill 2 I would kick off because it's in the horror titles.
Yeah.
And it'd be a horror game and not an adventure.
It's selfishly taking a slot.
Sonic is kind of a remake or remaster.
Yeah, Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. Yeah, it's like a remake / master.
Yeah,
Shadows,
the
Shadows
is
is
new,
the new
but
part, and that's like a third of the game.
Yeah. Oh, it's like a third of the game.
It's about a third of the game. It added 6 new worlds to it. Again, we don't know about Indiana Jones.
I know.
And Dungeons of Hinterberg was good, but it got boring.
Great. I heard the word boring.
Good enough. Outlaws, Star Wars Outlaws. I've heard. It wound up getting very like mixed reviews.
Yeah, I would say it probably shouldn't be in this category right now.
Yeah, Ubisoft does some good games, and I would only consider the reviews mid because of the Gooner crowd and the what they call chin cancer.
So
the Gooner crowd saying how the female lead has a man's chin.
Oh, jeez.
Prince of Persia game was
good game, but I don't know.
It was good. So was Tales.
So out of Prince of Persia or Tales of Kinsara Zal, which one would you keep out of those two?
I would say Prince of Persia.
Okay. Then we'll do that.
Cal had a better story, but Prince of Persia, I think, had better action.
All right.
Did you say keep or kick?
Kick.
Keep.
I heard kick.
Which one do we kick?
I would kick Tales of Zal or Tales of Kinsara.
Okay. So there are 6 games here if you include Indiana Jones. Do we want to put an asterisk next to Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Okay. And then that would be our 5/6. And then which one would we cut if Indiana Jones is better than all these? Sonic, Zelda.
I'm gonna say Sonic.
Okay. I'll put an asterisk next to that too, because if Indiana Jones better, then I'll cut Sonic. Best fighting game, there's already 5 here. We don't need to go through that. Blazing Strike, Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, Multiversus, and Tekken 8. Best first-person shooter. X Defiant just got canceled, so that's going away.
Made our job easy.
Stalker, I heard, is super broken, although people are fascinated by it.
I've heard Lethal Companies was pretty good.
Yeah, Lethal Company stays, Call of Duty stays, Destiny stays.
And I don't know much about the other ones.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot either. Should we? People are fascinated by Stalker. I think that needs to stay.
Yeah, keep.
I was gonna say it should stay.
Angerfoot was that Devolver game that came out that was weird. It was interesting, but I don't know if it stays on here. Same with Body Cam. That was really more of an experiment than a game.
What's Ion Fury?
That boomer shooter. That's it's kind of like old school Doom. Everybody seemed to love the original. I don't know how the second one is. Wizardom was that what the Atari published game? Atari published that, I think. I don't know. I know Ion Fury people liked that first one. Aftershock is an expansion. Why is this even on here? All right, well, that solves that. All right. There. That's our first person shooter list. Call of Duty, Destiny 2, Lethal Company, Stalker 2, and Wizardom. Great.
Fair.
Best horror game. Alone in the Dark, Crow Country, Fear of the Spotlight, Silent Hill, A Short Message, Silent Hill 2 Remake, Still Wakes the Deep.
I haven't heard good things about Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, I heard out of all of these, I would say A Short Message or Alone in the Dark are the ones that need to go, because I heard A Short Message is not very good either.
It was all right.
It was all right.
So, all right. Well, then you guys say it's all right. Alone in the Dark. Goodbye.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Look at that. That one has indies on it.
Best RPG. Dragon Age Veilguard, Dragon Quest 3, 2D HD, Dragon's Dogma 2, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Mario and Luigi Brothership, Metaphor ReFantasio, Persona 3 Reload, Visions of Mana, and Ys 10 Nordic.
Okay. Mario and Luigi Brothership should have actually been an action adventure.
Why? It's an RPG. Is it not an RPG?
It's RPG.
Is it classified as an RPG though?
Yeah.
What did Nintendo classify it as?
An RPG.
Turn-based and
it's a turn-based RPG.
Hold on. I'm going to go to the actual Nintendo store and see what it says.
All right. Well, while you do that, let's fight about the other ones.
Okay, we're keeping Final Fantasy and Metaphor, so go ahead and lock
I would
those
cut.
in.
I would cut 3 Reload just because it's a like a kind of a. I don't want to say a remake because 7 is kind of a remake too, but
yeah. No, go ahead and cut 3. I think they're better ones on this list.
Yeah.
You can cut.
Okay, it's in Heroes role playing, but it's first considered action.
Action RPG. Great.
I would kick.
All right, so
what'd you say, Pat?
Kick Ys Nordic. They're better ones on this list.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Dragon Age, Dragon Quest, Rebirth, Metaphor. Was that 4 or 5? I think that was 4. Dragon Age, Dragon Quest, Rebirth, Metaphor, and
I keep Visions.
I would say Infinite Wealth over Mana. Visions.
That's what I was gonna say too, honestly. My problem with Visions of Mana is that it just seems like just more of the same as far as RPGs go.
It's
Yeah.
an
I feel like people didn't latch on to Dragon's Dogma 2 like they did the first one.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
didn't.
So
Plus, Capcom made some controversial decisions that they had to reverse.
yeah. All right. So what are we cutting out of these 6? Visions or Aw.
that
Oh
was
wait, no,
7, dude. We already told we were kicking that one.
I miscounted. I'm sorry. Out of this list, based on what people say, I would say Visions of Mana would get cut. I've played very little of some of these, but that would be my opinion.
Pat, what are your thoughts between Dragon Quest III, the 2D HD remake, versus Visions of Mana? Because Dragon Quest III is a fantastic remake, but does it stand up against a new Mana game? But you've played Mana, so I feel like you'd be better.
As much as we love Dragon Quest 2D HD, I'm looking at our description here. Does it have an exceptional story? Not really. It's the story is very bare bones. Character development, you are literally the only character
Mhm.
that has any part of the story. Everyone else you purchase and just follow you around.
Also, don't you need
And
the other 2 games to finish the story?
well, no, they all hold on its own. It's just where it takes place.
All right, because that's
It's
what I
the first
figured.
one.
Because in a vacuum, I am loving playing Dragon Quest III, the remake. But if we're talking about the description here for RPG, I would say Visions of Mana is more qualified. So I would recommend cutting Dragon Quest III. Pat, what do you think?
I kind of in agreement there, just because Dragon Quest 3, other than the graphics and music, it doesn't do much else.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not really going to argue.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Okay.
Good cut. Dragon Age, The Veilguard, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Refantasio, and Visions of Mana. All right. Best strategy game. We only need to cut one. What did I just do? I think Kinetsugami stays because I think it does something really, really unique.
I would keep Unicorn Overlord because
Mhm.
that is what it is.
Mhm.
And there's various ways you can play it. So
Yeah.
the strategies are endless.
On
I
this,
only put Shim in there because I wanted to provide diversity in our discussions for best strategy. However, to be honest, I don't know how good it is in comparison to these other nominees.
yeah, I'm with you. I would say, what is it? Shim?
Shim.
Skim Milk goes.
I just know people really like Frostpunk 2.
Right. That's fine. Like I said, I wasn't married to it. I just want to provide additional discussion as needed.
Yeah. Okay.
Dear Lord, the games that make you feel something, best remake or
This
remaster. Holy shit.
I
I
know,
feel
but
someone just put
Again, these were
literally
just all the
everything.
remakes and remasters that came out. Okay,
Holy
Okay.
shit.
made a
Let's
list.
shorten this list before you even talk about it. Until Dawn was a
Yeah,
disaster.
Until Dawn sucks.
Star Wars Dark Forces, disaster.
Really, I heard it was awesome. I heard Dark Forces was awesome.
I thought it was buggy as shit.
I mean, we can cut it.
Maybe I heard that.
I think we could probably cut Age of Mythology Retold. I know it's really great, but
And cut A Brother, A Tale of Two Sons. We've done a book club on it, and based on our discussions, the remake really wasn't anything to write home about.
Cut Beyond Good and Evil.
You need a reason, LeRon. Gosh.
I would cut
JK.
Horizon just because it didn't need it, and it's kind of not needed.
I
How about
agree.
The Last of Us Part 2 remastered? Or are people going to
Yep,
flip
same
out?
reason.
Okay.
Getting rid of Luigi's Mansion. Not needed.
Let's see.
The Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Fighting Collection. That should have Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting. Why wasn't that in the fighting games?
Because it's a remake and a remaster.
What is it? Was it remaking?
It's
It's a
remastering.
re-release. It's basically a re-release of games like that.
Okay, well that just makes the case even stronger why it shouldn't have been there.
I'm fighting to keep Silent Hill 2 on here, and I think
Yeah,
Dragon
that's
Quest 3
that's
might
a
be
given.
reasonable to keep. Just saying.
I am with you on those. I am definitely fighting for Mario versus Donkey Kong.
I'm
I'm
gonna get
fighting
rid of
for
Final Fantasy VII
why?
because I feel like that's almost a whole new game.
It's
Yeah.
it's a remake though. It's part of the Final Fantasy VII remake project.
It's a completely different. The game's very different to the point where it just
I would agree with you, Pat.
yeah.
As much as
Um,
it's
more
gonna
new than
really twist
Did
some
Persona
people's.
Persona 3 Reload do anything that wasn't already done in Golden?
No.
added stylized menus.
That bye.
Braid Anniversary
Just telling
Edition
you.
is just like a 4K version of that game.
Yep. Also, Kill Shadows of the Damned remastered.
Oh
Okay.
no!
What?
Just kidding. It was a joke.
No,
It's trying to lighten the mood. Everybody seems like they're
not the
pooping their pants
boner.
over here.
Oh, Lollipop Chainsaw, same reason.
Yeah, Epic Mickey. They did some great quality of life changes, but I don't think it's changing the world.
Yeah, better stories told than another code.
Anybody play the Riven remake?
No, but I was gonna make a case to kill it.
Okay, bye. Reason enough. Bounty Hunter or Dark Forces. I mean, I know I yelled at Pat to not delete it, but maybe we should. I retract my yellization.
I thought we were keeping Marvel. Let's give that one a line.
Should we cut Paper Mario Thousand Year Door if we favor Mario versus Donkey Kong? Not that we.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with this. Like, I feel like people are gonna riot if we given that we've already spoken it on the podcast. Like, I feel people will riot if they know that Paper Mario Thousand Year Door was on here and we cut it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is like a beloved entry in the Paper Mario series.
Says the person who tried to cut Sephiroth from Best Biggest Villain.
Hey, look. I'm trying to. All right, listen. I'm not trying to fight the Nintendo fanboys. I have a better time fighting PlayStation fanboys than I do Nintendo fanboys.
All right.
I'm cutting out the last four here because obviously these things aren't going to be in our argument here.
Yeah, I would actually argue Sonic X Shadow gets cut too because half of it is a new game, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need one more cut?
Paper Mario.
Why is Marvel vs. Capcom still on here?
I thought we liked that game, and it's considered one of the best fighters that came out this year.
I'm gonna set now.
Okay.
Because the only thing new it put out there was like that Punisher arcade game.
So, have we discussed Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy?
Did that just appear on here? I don't remember being on the list when we started cutting everything.
No, that one was on there before. My argument is that I feel this one opened up the doorway in a lot more people trying to get into the Ace Attorney games. I feel like because of how good this one was, the Ace Attorney series became more popular. But also Paper Mario. So I don't know what to do in this situation. Maybe lean to Paper Mario.
Paper Mario staying or leaving?
Someone else make this decision.
I was asking which way are you leaning, like Paper Mario staying or leaving?
I didn't play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. I thought Paper Mario was incredibly boring.
Damn.
You were saying that from the very beginning. I remember that.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
So that's my take. I would say just from based on a fun standpoint, Paper Mario should get cut. Plus, we already have Mario
Steph?
vs. Donkey Kong, which is another Mario game.
Yeah, listen, well see I didn't play the original Thousand Year Door, so because we're talking about remakes and remasters, I only hear about the differences from what I read, and I didn't finish Paper Mario Thousand Year Door because I unfortunately have to admit I got bored as well.
Well, hey, that sounds sounds like we're doing it right then.
Great.
All right.
Goodbye,
Apollo
Paper
stays.
Mario.
So we got Apollo Justice, Ace
Damn.
Attorney Trilogy, Dragon Quest 3, 2D, HD, whatever, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Marvel vs. Capcom, and Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, so all right, so we are going to do 3 more categories for this episode of the podcast, and then the rest will be decided at a later date. And maybe you'll just be surprised at our Game of the Year nominations. I guess we should probably read the list of Game of the Year nominations at least. And then the console
I think we could
stuff
do that, and then the Game of the Year, and we'll find I think we should definitely publicize and announce our nominees, because that's what we like
Yeah.
to do. So, we're just, listeners, we're just running a bit long, and normally we would let this run kind of long, but we got other podcasts to record and other stuff. So, but we're hoping you guys enjoy the conversation so far, including best worst game. Concord, Funko Fusion, Multiverses, Skull and Bones, Silent Hill, The Short Message, Slitterhead, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
So my to cut, I would say either Multiverses or Skull and Bones, because even though nobody's playing them, I hear they're pretty competent games.
But Silent Hill: The Short Message was also competent.
All right. Oh shit! That's more than we need. Shit, we have to keep one.
So keep Concord, keep Funko Fusion, keep Slitterhead.
What made Silent Hill: The Short Message a bad game? I thought it was I thought it was a welcome entry. Yeah.
I liked it.
Yep. Okay, Multiverse or Skull and Bones? Which one do we want to cut?
Man.
Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones.
You cut because
which one is the better game, guys? We need to cut the better game. Remember that.
Skull and Bones. That's the better game when you versus Multiverses.
keep Multiverses because they literally took it down, rebuilt it from the ground up, and put out a worse game.
Beautiful.
Best feel-good game.
All right.
Astrobot, Balatro, Endless Ocean, Luminous, Fruit Bus, Little Kitty, Big City, Lollipop Chainsaw, Repop, Mario Party Jamboree, Mika and the Witch's Mountain, and Tetris Forever.
So
Tetris Forever stays because I love what they did with that.
Is it a feel-good game though, or is it just an interesting piece of history? Because I think it's incredibly boring. I think it's interesting but boring. As a person who loves Tetris.
Oh, wow!
I think it is an awesome history lesson. I think they did some really interesting things. I think it's incredibly boring as a video game.
You know what? If Corey says it's like that, then it's got to go.
I think there are at least 3 better versions of Tetris on the Switch by itself. Not that this is a Nintendo podcast, but
odd.
As requested by the person who's presenting this category, Mika and the Witch's Mountain is a joyous, wondrous video game that just makes you smile the entire time.
Okay.
So I say that stays.
It looks like Kiki's delivery service, so let's keep it. Ooh, what that is?
The Lollipop Chainsaw, is that a feel-good game? I mean, I guess it feels good to cut zombies in half with the chainsaw, but
that's all right. If we even have to ask a question, we can cut it. I feel like Endless Ocean.
Sorry.
No,
go ahead, Steph. All right. So I like Balatro. It is fun to see numbers go up, and you get better in the game.
Yeah, I think Balatro probably stays. Everybody seems to love that game, and everybody feels good when they play it, and it's addicting.
Numbers go up.
Um, Mario Party
also
Jamboree is pretty fun. It made me feel good when I played it.
Yeah, because you and Nikolai teamed up against me. All right.
Hey,
Mm.
look,
Mm.
partner in crime. I can't help it.
One,
I
two,
don't know anything
three.
about Fruit Bus.
I don't know anything about Fruit Bus either.
And
Um,
I liked Endless Ocean until I got to the end. But for the most part, it was fun to just swim around and scan shit.
Yeah, Little Kitty Big City really makes you smile. You could just do a lot of cute, funny, silly things. I'm
yeah, do
partial
we?
to it.
Yeah, so I guess it would be between Endless Ocean and Mario Party to cut.
Or Endless Ocean. Oh, yeah, sorry. That's what you meant. Yep. That's right.
Well, here's what I can say. As much fun as Mario Party can be, it can also be incredibly infuriating.
Yeah, kick that out because sometimes you don't feel so good, especially when your son and one of your friends teams up against you.
See, now you understand. Now you
Get
understand
out
my
of
pain,
here.
Stephanie. Now
Hey,
Get
you
out of
understand
here.
my pain.
I came in third place. Okay, so
It's still the attempt was there. The
Wait.
maliciousness was
This is
there.
the
Because
that's
Mario
the new
Party
one,
don't
right?
care what
Is that the one?
Yes.
Is that the one where you pick up an NPC and they don't help you out?
Yeah.
Is-
Yeah. Peach was useless. Peach was useless. I've
mhm.
been through 4 games and I've only gotten one Jamboree buddy and she left me for every person that passed me. What
Uh,
a loosey goosey. Anyway,
Jamboree
games
slut.
making game making the biggest impact on society and all that stuff. Black Myth Wukong, Closer the Distance, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Indica, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Neva, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Tales of Kizara Zhao, and until then.
I say Tales of Kinsara Zhao stays.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think Black Myth Wukong stays.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hellblade stays.
Mm-hmm. I think Dragon
Um,
Age goes.
I think Dragon Age tries too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Life is Strange. I feel like it earns a place here.
What is Indica? Does anybody even remember what Indica is? I
I've
feel like
heard
that
things,
has some
but
sort of cultural relevance somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't tell you for sure though. Like
I feel like I saw an article on Boss Rush about that. Someone wrote about that on the website.
I don't know what Closer the Distance is.
I don't know what that is either.
All right, Indica. All right, so play a third-person story-driven game set in alternative Russia at the turn of the. I'm too tired and full of cough medicine to read Roman numerals. Century, where religious visions clash with harsh reality. Indica tells the story of a young nun who sets off on a journey of self-discovery with the most unusual companion by her side, the devil himself. Wow, that sounds compelling. And then the other one is Closer the Distance, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Closer the Distance on Steam. Description: a slice of life that tells a deeply emotional story about the connections between family and friends in the face of tragedy. Unearth long kept secrets, repair strained relationships, and help your loved ones move on.
I don't know. I really
I
liked
feel like
Until Then.
well then do we I think out of Closer the Distance and Indica, I think Indica sounds more compelling. And if Pat likes Until Then,
I'm fine with that.
would that be okay keeping Indica and Until Then and cutting Neva, Life is Strange, and Closer the Distance?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue.
Okay. Done.
Sorry. Until Then made me tear, so it made
All
me
right.
feel, guys. It made me feel.
Feel feelings.
Yes.
All right.
So
Well,
we went through.
let's head down to our game of the year then, and just let everybody know what's kind of on the list, and we'll cut it to 10. Not 5. We'll cut it to 10, and then we'll get out of here. So the list right now, and if anybody thinks anything's missing, now's the time to add it. Right now it's Animal Well, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Crow Country, Destiny 2 The Final Shape, Dragon Age The Veilguard, Dragon's Dogma 2, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Helldivers 2, Asterix by Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Metaphor Refantasio, Persona 3 Reload, Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2, Stellar Blade, Tekken 8, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Is there anything we think is missing?
Well,
that
if
should be
Taylor was
considered?
here, she would say Genshin Impact, but she says that every year.
Yeah, Genshin Impact should be on the continuous
Best
So-
ongoing. I think it's on there.
ongoing.
We're narrowing this down to 10, right?
Right
Yes.
now, we're narrowing it down to 10.
All right. Would you say it's safe to say that Astrobot and Balatro would definitely
They're safe. I think they're safe.
safe,
Yes.
and Metaphor Refantasio is safe?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And Final Fantasy is
I would
safe.
say Final Fantasy is safe.
Wukong.
I would say
Wukong's
Wukong
definitely on
is
the higher
safe.
side. Definitely
What'd you-
on
wait,
the higher
wait.
side here.
What'd you say?
Which one?
Pat?
Me or who?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you.
you.
What'd you say?
I said Wukong would definitely be on the higher side of the
Oh,
list.
okay.
Yeah.
I would argue Silent Hill 2 stays. I feel like
Yeah,
a
I
lot
would-
of people really love
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Silent Hill stays.
I'm getting rid of Dragon's Dogma.
Mhm.
I'm going to kick Tekken.
Oh, why?
Because even though it's a strong fighting game, like Tekken's a game that's going to get like at least 2 more expansions with DLC
Yeah.
content and stuff like that. So in my opinion, it's not really a completed game.
Yeah.
And also it's a fighting game. When is a fighting game ever like one game of the year? I mean, being a top 10, like yeah, for sure. But like a game of the year.
Who's cutting stuff without discussion?
Yeah, what just went?
There were 5
I
games
got
just
rid
got
of
deleted
Yeah, we haven't even talked about them. Why are they on the list?
because we just got to the category.
Well, fine.
We didn't talk about Metaphor, and it's underlined.
Yes. Well,
I thought we said Metaphor was staying.
Yeah, we said Metaphor was safe.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
All right. Well. Here we go. Well, wait. We named all those.
Why we haven't-
You named all those games, though, right? I thought Corey read all those games off. Corey, do you need to go to
Corey-
sleep? You read all those games off, and then you're like,
I
"Why
did.
are we
did.
taking these games off?"
I said it
Yeah.
was a joke.
We're taking
Jesus
the games off because they have no chance of being in the 10.
I think you could. I mean, Call of Duty is good, but it's a good Call of Duty game. I wouldn't necessarily think that it's going to be a Game of the Year contender.
I'm going to say Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom is also in that, also getting that fate. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Playing
I'll be honest with you. After the appeal of putting of like using the bed everywhere like wore off, like people stopped talking about that game.
That appeal never wore off for me. Just side note.
Well, you stopped talking
I
about.
feel like a lot of people would disagree with you, LeRon. I feel
Uh-huh.
like I feel like it's
Yeah.
not going to win Game of the Year. I
Mhm.
feel like it'll probably be in like the
In the top
7,
10?
8 range, 6, 7, 8
It might be
range.
in the top 10.
You think it might be in the top 10 though?
Mm-hmm.
It might be.
Okay.
Or-
All right.
Who can speak for Crow Country?
I have no idea what
It's
that
a
is.
good game. It's a good game, but there are definitely 10 better games on this list.
All right. I also agree that we could get rid of Dragon's Dogma 2. I thought we did, but it's back here, so I don't know.
Because Corey said
Um,
we didn't discuss it.
What's this?
No.
What's this final shape? What is this? Like, I've never
I will
heard of that
fight-
shit.
I will fight for that.
All right,
1,000%
all
will fight for
agreement.
that.
Final shape goes.
I hate you.
Just
We were
All right,
just kidding. on that. We were just-
let's give Destiny to Corey. Let's underline that.
yeah.
Um,
Also say
Um,
Helldivers 2 sticks on this list.
Yeah, I
Like
think
like the like the community alone behind that game like made that game a success.
Yeah.
All right, while those two are being underlined, as much as I find Lorelei and the Laser Eyes very stylized and very brilliant, I just think compared to whatever else is here for top 10, that should go.
Mhm.
I'm afraid to say that the same with Persona 3 Reload.
Persona 3 can go.
Wait, Pat, what were you going to say?
I said asterisk Indiana Jones, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I Kusugami.
So
This might be controversial, but I think Prince of Persia Lost Crown has to go.
No,
It
not
might be a
necessarily
10, though.
controversial.
I don't know if that's controversial. I think it was a great Metroidvania. I don't know if it's a Game of the Year contender.
Yeah.
Same. All right.
Okay.
I would also say the same thing about Kinitsugami. I feel like it's a interesting, cool,
It's
unique
niche.
experience.
It's a niche game.
It is very niche, and I don't even know if half of our audience would even know what that game is. I do think it's an incredible experience, though, for what it is. It does get pretty repetitive, and I know the game, quote unquote, doesn't really start until New Game Plus, but
All right, we need two more.
All right, so I felt Dragon Age the Veilguard was underrepresented in the Game Awards. However, given all that I've heard so far here, I don't know, Pat, I think you're the only one that can really speak to it. Like, do you feel like it is a deserving of top 10, though?
It's a fantastic game. It would be very close to top 10, depending on what we do with some of these other ones. So let's asterisk this one for now.
Okay. How about Stellar Blade?
That one
I'm almost thinking we cut.
Yeah, I feel like the game has obviously it has a visual appeal, right? And this, the combat, I have heard mixed feelings on the combat. I've heard the story is, pretty rip off of Nier Automata, almost to a fault, where they kind of admit it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's like a solid game, but I don't know if it would be better than
Right.
anything that's on this list already.
All right, let's cut that. Okay. And forgive me, but I thought LeRon said he was okay and willing to remove Tekken 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, we need to cut 3 more.
Jeez,
so we have left our Animal Well, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Indiana Jones, Like a Dragon, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Man.
I cannot speak for Indiana Jones, obviously, and Like a Dragon. Between Animal Well, Senua's Saga, and Legend of Zelda, if I were to rank them, I mean, they're completely different games. But I would say Senua, Animal Well, and then Zelda. As much as I love Zelda, and I still would think it would make sense it be in the top 10, but
I would, out of these 3, I would say the most divisive game out of those 3 would be Senua Saga. I know a lot of people actually really did not like that game. And it's probably going to be in my top 2 or 3 of the year, if not Game of the Year. But I would understand if we cut it.
But
so, Steph, you said Senua was the top one of those 3?
For me, yeah. And I was going to kind of almost yell at Corey, like, just because it might not be this isn't a popularity contest. We're deciding the quality of our top 10 games of the year. And I do feel like there's something unique enough about Hellblade 2 that is earning of a spot in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zelda should go. I think we're starting to argue enough to say other games are deserving.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right, so how many more do we need to cut?
2 more. 2 more.
Well, we're gonna have 11 spots with an asterisk by Indiana Jones, right? So
Okay, so I guess Indiana Jones is staying then until we know.
yeah.
So let's.
So now we've got Animal Well, Dragon Age, and Like a Dragon contending.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
don't
like
know
a
enough.
Dragon stays.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Animal World as to make like an informed decision to say whether it goes or stays.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like a lot of people love Animal Well, though. I feel like the discussion around that game was unanimously positive.
It's weird because like I swear like I did not hear anything about this game until you guys started talking about it.
Oh, the discussion's there.
Yeah, it's
So we're keeping Senua and Animal Well and getting rid of Dragon Age and Like a Dragon.
I mean, I'm not necessarily arguing for that because I'm going to rely on whoever's played Dragon Age and Like a Dragon to convince me otherwise. Because I'm completely open. Like Pat, between these four, how would you rank them?
I have no skin in Senua since I
Mhm.
didn't play that one. If I were to rank them, I'd put Dragon Age at the top of my list. Animal Well was a very well made game, especially considering it was one person. But is it better than Like a Dragon? That's what I'm having issue with, is comparing those two.
Well, I hate. I was going to throw the indie argument, but Balatro secured a spot on here, so never mind.
Like a Dragon's going. All right, so that just leaves Dragon Age and Animal Well.
man.
This is one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make.
I mean, based on the discussions alone around these games, I would say Animal Well over Dragon Age.
But I like Dragon Age over Animal Well.
I know. I know. I know.
Why are you making me choose my children?
Everyone has a favorite. Don't let them lie to you. Man,
It's fine.
I don't know what to tell you. It's up to you,
It's
I guess.
fine. Keep Animal Well.
Is Helldivers 2 really that great that it's part of a game of the year? I know Helldivers is like.
I would argue that it's pretty dominant, especially in PlayStation and PC.
It was, but is it still?
For game of the year, anyway.
I still hear people.
This is a top 10. Helldivers is a top 10 game.
Yeah, I would say it's a top 10 game at least, for sure.
Well, we have 11 until we figure out the verdict of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
This one was a tough one to go through.
No Zelda on this list. Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, was there? Let's be honest. Was there a meaty, girthy Zelda entry this time around this year?
Well, Pat, were you going to say something? Were you going to say something? You said not going to lie.
I said I'm not going to lie. It wasn't the best Zelda game.
I really liked Echoes of Wisdom, but when you line it up with everything else that's come out this year, that's just how it is. And this is coming from someone who has a freaking Zelda wall behind me. If anything, it would have been like number 11. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Dragon Age was number 11. Damn it, we killed it.
So we will, if Indiana Jones is better than any of these games, we have to pick one to cut if Indiana Jones is better.
I propose Helldivers.
Well, we can also go the route of, as much as I love Silent Hill 2, and Silent Hill 2 might be my top 10 for this year, it is a remake. And while the rest of these are original games, perhaps Silent Hill 2 would be the one to kick out if Indiana Jones were to make it. No, LeRon?
I would I would argue Hellblade over Silent Hill 2.
Okay.
I look, I love Hellblade. I understand it's not for everybody, and I understand that there are parts of that game that are not great.
I'm going to be the asshole because like I feel like this Indiana Jones game is going to be a big deal. The only way this could not make a top 10 of anybody's list is if it is a bad game.
Yeah.
So that being said, if we're looking at Helldivers versus anything else on this list, then Senua's Saga is the one that's going to have to like face the axe.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
I'm with you there, right? I mean, it's going to be something for me, but like again, you look at the rest of the games.
It's not an attack, honestly. Like
no, I know. I agree. I'm agreeing with you.
All right, okay. So Hellblade 2 will be the one to cut.
So double star Hellblade.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. And we'll double star Indiana Jones here.
Yep.
That way we know one of those.
That way we know the contenders.
Oh,
that way we know. That way we know who's wrestling for that last spot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, our top 10/11 games of 2024, depending on Indiana Jones: Animal Well, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Destiny 2: The Final Shape, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Helldivers 2, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Metaphor ReFantazio, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
Hoo-wee.
Man, we cut some great games.
We're putting in way too much work.
Honestly, it's a fun kind of discussion. I just wish we had more time for it. Genuinely, I just wish we had more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
some of these categories just had like they're like a mind of their own.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, we did it, everybody, and
no, we did the first half.
Yeah.
Well,
the first discussion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the rest of this can kind of just be fiddled with over the course of the week by us. So the other categories, I guess, were let's see: best esports experience, best short form creator, best multiplayer experience, best DLC or expansion, best ongoing game, best game based community, best new hardware, best on deck, best collector's edition consoles, developer of the year, indie game of the year, Xbox game of the year, PlayStation game of the year, Nintendo game of the year, and most anticipated game of 2025. So those are the other categories you can look forward to. And look forward to the Bossies on January 16th. We will be advertising it more throughout the next couple weeks. And thank you guys for listening and or watching. You can subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Pat, LeRon, Stephanie, thank you for your time tonight. As always, I know this is a little longer than we usually go, but I appreciate your time regardless. And everybody out there, thank you so much for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Take care.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.